So I'm going to be starting another weekly vlog to kind of give you an idea. I have read all 3 books that I have informed you about. TBRathon. I am going to showing you screenshots of rolls. I don't have physical dice. I don't know where they are. But once I do that, I will actually physically show you those rolls. But for now, it's going to be digital. The very first prompt for TBRathon was adult fiction. I did read Behind the Pink Door. And basically that is about a girl, actually multiple point of views. This new family moves into kind of a new development, and you kind of get glimpses of everyone's backstory. However, obviously everyone is not perfect, even if everyone thinks so on the outside. Behind doors, obviously that's a different story. And there's one house in particular called that has a pink door on it, and you actually get the perspective of the person who is actually there. I will advise, it deals with a minor. It also deals with abuse. Just wanting to let you know if that is a trigger. I did give this 4 stars. Absolutely loved it. I was intrigued from the beginning and totally loved it. So that was that. So now I am going to flip you to the roll. I am using a 2 6-sided dice. Here is the roll for that. And that first roll, I rolled a 5. And so now the next screen you're going to see is actually me going across the board. Five brought me to 20 minutes of booktube. That is not hard. I literally do that on a daily basis. With that being said, what I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and roll again to kind of let you know what I am reading for, see what the next one is. So here is that roll. That roll was a 7. That landed on young adult fiction. I went through Libby and I chose this book, the You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. For those of you that are not familiar, basically what this book is about. Charity Curtis has the summer job of her dreams, playing the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. Gets paid to be scared in this full contact terror game as Charity and her summer crew recreate scenes from a classic slasher film, Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. The more realistic the fear, the better for business. But the last weekend of the season, Charity's co-workers begin disappearing. And when one ends up dead, Charity's role as a final girl suddenly becomes all too real. If Charity and her girlfriend Bezzy hope to survive the night, they'll need to figure out what this killer is after. Is there more to the story of Mirror Lake and its dangerous past than Charity ever expected? So I've heard actually numerous things about that. The this book, so that's definitely why I chose it. Have Audiio also. What I will do is I will check in at the 50% mark and kind of give you an update. Hello. I wanted to kind of give you a update on what I have read. The first thing I did want to advise is I did finish a book called Cursed Moon. It wasn't for really any prompts for TBRathon or anything of that nature, but I did have it checked out on Libby for not entirely sure why. But basically it's about a kid who likes to do horror stories, scary stories, writing, also telling. Well, the blood moon is approaching, and a neighbor kind of warns him to absolutely don't do any scary stories during the red moon. And this kid is very like arrogant, and you can definitely tell like he's just not happy with life in general. So what ended up happening is the story he wrote actually starts coming true, and he actually had a friend who also told the story, and his stuff is also coming true. And the premise was okay. I gave it 2 stars. I mean, it is a middle grade, and is probably a reason why I kind of try and stay away from middle grade now. Just I don't really think I'm gonna be picking up any middle grade things unless I absolutely have to for a prompt or it's part of a readathon. That was that check-in. I did start briefly in starting the You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. As of right now, there are 2 people missing, and they're just kind of like blowing it off just because of the fact that they have had very bad luck in actually keeping people on staff. And that's pretty much it. I'm at the point where it's the next day, and she is just checking grounds, and she thought she heard something at the lake, which there's a strict no swimming policy. That's actually where I am. I think Libby says I'm like 7% through, and right now it's interesting, but we shall see. This book is part of the TBRathon Lost in the Library. With that being said, once I get to the 50-ish mark, I will definitely check in with you. Hi guys, to wrap up this week's vlog update. I have not actually updated in a bit. However, the book You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight is my very first 5-star of the year, which is awesome. And I did do another roll for TBRathon. So what I'm gonna do is, here's the clip. And as you can tell, it is a 2. But before I show you the clip of what that lands on, I did want to go back and let you know, as far as You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, obviously it is a well-talked book when it came out. And basically, it's about this horror camp, and they do an experience of like as a slasher camp for experience and things like that. And then things start to go wrong. They're missing employees and friends, and they discover something along the way. That's really all that I can say, pretty much. Absolutely loved it. It was a super fast read. On the edge of my seat the whole entire time. Like, I could not put the book down. All right, with that being said, I am going to go ahead and show you the video of what I decided to choose for this prompt. And as you can see, I decided to choose spell out R-E-A-D, whether it's the title or author. I decided to go through my actual Kindle TBR and see exactly if I had anything like that. And the closest that I was able to get is this book, and that is the Cookies, Corpses, and the Deathly Haunt. Basically, it is a little cozy mystery. From the back, it is about these house flippers. However, the house flippers is a Juniper and Jack, and they used to date. And however, they are now split up, and Jack is actually expected to be marrying a person that she despises, but they are still business partners because they own a construction company to help rebuild houses. Well, their primary rebuilds are haunted places or things that are like Victorian style, things of that nature. And so they purchased this house, which ironically is in Jack's hometown, and things kind of get a little messy and drama filled. And they do discover a body in the attic, and they are saying ghosts are being haunted because in this particular house, a doctor ended up murdering his wife and sticking his wife in the trunk. But we shall see how it goes. I will say I am 50% through, and so far it is a very high 4-star. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be a 5, just because of the fact that, I mean, it is a murder mystery, and those can't really surprise me a whole lot because it's kind of the same premise, just different characters, just different situations. But I am having a good time. I cannot wait to continue. I don't know if I'm going to continue another weekly vlog or not. I am going to go to the library sometime this week to kind of stock up on books due to here in Texas. We are expected to have a winter storm, which includes freezing rain, and where we are, we're actually expected to have snow as well. With that being said, I may stock up on some books so that way I have things that I can do. All right, well, I do hope you enjoyed my weekly vlog. Let me know how your week went last week or this week. And until next time, guys, you take care and happy reading.